Hi guys, Brennan here from Virtutus Education. Just a quick one today to check if everyone's going alright during this time of isolation, making sure that you are using this time wisely, that you're not using this situation as a chance to slacken off, and that you're still striving to do your best, and that you've accepted the challenge that you currently face. Today I'd like to share with you 3 things that you need to do to get the most out of your assessment task and gain the highest level achievement that you are capable of. And those 3 things are reading the task sheet thoroughly. Sounds obvious, I know, but I'll get back to that. Analysing your assessment criteria sheet and using your cognitive verbs to plan your assessment. So number 1, and I know it might sound obvious, but it is reading your assessment task sheet thoroughly. In my 15 years of teaching, the number 1 reason students haven't been able to reach their full potential is that they have misinterpreted the task sheet. They've read it once, they've assumed they know what they need to do, and they've misinterpreted the task. So it's very, very important that you read the task sheet thoroughly, that you analyse the content within the task sheet, that you clarify any words, terms, or phrases that you don't understand, and then you write down some questions. Questions that you might want to ask the teacher, questions that you might want to do some further research on, or questions that you might just have for yourself in terms of thinking about a strategy on how you might address the content within the task sheet. So that's number 1, reading the task sheet thoroughly. Number 2, we have analysing the assessment criteria sheet. Now, the reason why this is so important is that assessments are evidence-based pieces of work. So you don't want to leave it up and make it a guessing game. If you look at the assessment criteria sheet, it will stipulate exactly what evidence you need to show for your assessment task and what characteristics your responses need to have. So again, don't make it a guess, okay? Look at that assessment criteria sheet. It tells you everything you need to know. If you look at the standard A descriptions, which you all should be, because we don't really want to aim for mediocre here, do we? If you're an 8R student, you need to be pulling your finger out and aiming for that level A assessment criteria. So in doing that, create yourself a list, okay? Look at the language, look at the characteristics that you need to provide, create a checklist, and then you can use that at the end of your assessment to tick off the things that you haven't included in your assessment. So that's the second one, analysing that assessment criteria. I can't stress that one enough. Don't guess what you need to do, look what you need to do. And the last one, number 3, is using your cognitive verbs to plan your assessment. Now, how can we do this? An example is, if you're asked to say, describe something, you can prepare evidence for that by creating, say, a table or a dot point list. That's going to give you enough evidence to write a description. Whereas if you are asked to analyse something, you might need something more, a little higher order thinking, such as a PMI analysis, where collecting evidence about the positive, negative, and interesting things about a topic, that can help you gain that evidence to formulate an analysis response, whether it be long form essay writing, short form report writing, or even graphically presenting in a design folio. A PMI analysis or a technique such as that will allow you to gather the more appropriate evidence. Because we need to make that clear as well. If you are asked to analyse something and you only describe something, then you've missed the mark. That's not going to do. So you need to make sure that you are both identifying those cognitive verbs and using them to plan the evidence and the characteristics or the style of your response. So that's number 3, using cognitive verbs to plan out your assessment. So I'd just like to finish with a message from Virtutus Education that we want you to understand that what we aim to deliver is not just one-on-one support with lesson content or subject matter. We also want to share with you proven strategies that help your students become better learners, because a lot of this stuff that I teach is very cross-curricular. What can be used for one subject can be used for another in terms of high-performance learning. So if you are interested in any of these strategies or you'd like further support in any of your subject areas, please get in contact and let us help find a solution to support your students' learning needs. I look forward to hearing from you soon, and keep an eye out for the future videos where I'll go over strategies like this in far more detail, as well as many more that will help your student reach their full potential. For now, take care. I'll talk to you soon.